I just heard something that helped flip this on its head. You know how we talk about titles sometimes, where many of us are programmed with a title supposed to mean something, right? So even if the relationship isn't serving you anymore, if that person holds a title, you have a much harder time releasing it. So for instance, if you have a relationship with a title and they're just treating you terribly, you have a really hard time letting that relationship go. But if the exact same scenario was always happening with a random person, you'd have no problem walking away because you have more self-respect. But you tolerate it from somebody who has a title in your life, and a title can be anything: mother, father, brother, sister, daughter, aunt, uncle, cousin, teacher, lover, best friend, priest. I mean, it can be so many different things. That's what I mean by title. And so, but you hold them to a certain standard and also a certain sacredness in your ideal or your moral or your belief, right? And so, the comment I heard was something like, oh God, what did they say? You have a hard time letting it go because you have that belief around that title. But are they honoring that end of the title? So I forget exactly how it was said, but it was like, let's just use a teacher as an example. You have a relationship with a teacher and you're honoring your end because you're honoring that relationship how you believe it needs to be treated and honored and held with respect and reverence. Yet if the teacher doesn't hold that same belief on the teacher-student dynamic and is treating you, the student, like shit, you have to have enough self-respect to be like, this is a shitty teacher. This is not my teacher. This is not acceptable behavior. I'm not allowing this person to teach me or treat me this way. And you need to sever that relationship and move on. Now, that's an easier example than if we said a family dynamic or a loving, another loving dynamic. Those can be more sensitive and more difficult. But if you consider it the way I'm suggesting it, they're more difficult. Why? Because you hold weight in that title. You have a belief that that is more sacred. But if they're continually not treating you with the reciprocal love and reverence of that same title, then it's only you who's holding up that end of the bargain, so to speak. And it's at your own detriment. Why? Right? It's like the reason we're having more challenging times with some relationships is simply because of the title. If you stripped the title away and just saw them as another human being, you'd be like, this is unacceptable behavior. I wouldn't let a stranger speak to me that way, treat me that way, all these things. Why am I allowing you to harm me, cross my boundaries, speak to me this way? Like, why am I tolerating it? Why am I staying here? Why am I allowing this dynamic, this relationship? Who said I needed to? It's some belief in your head. Do you see? Sometimes we need to see the truth of it. And it's like those people also know your belief. They know you feel that way. So they're taking advantage of that belief. They're pushing on it. They're leaning on it, going, oh, I can treat you like shit. You're not going anywhere because I hold this title. And it's like, no, you have to snip that. You have to cut that tie, cut that string. Have your clear boundaries, have that clear discussion. And again, when it happens time and time again, you have to be able to walk away, irrelevant of the title. You have to love yourself more. Otherwise, they're in control of you. It's just what it is. Whose life are you living? Yours or theirs?
Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.